It's on a somber note tonight that we join you, and we're going to join you with the opening to ZZ Top Fandango. So just in tribute to Dusty Hill, a few minutes of how we all got to know ZZ Top. After the monster album Tres Hombres that it released, the follow-up was supposed to be a completely live album. It turned half and half. But this is the first track. And this is how so many like me got to know ZZ Top.
And I love that build up and that intro, man.
You ready for ZZ Top? I'm telling you, ready. Ladies and gentlemen, fantastic ZZ Top! Now, Mark, I don't know why I felt that was so appropriate, but I thought we needed to hear that tonight. And I remember when we did this, decided to do this album, I first wanted to do Tres Hombres, and you wanted to do Fandango.
Yeah, and I have to. If the people that don't know the dynamics of how we work, we semi-debate before we ever do this, and I love that album that you just mentioned. But people that don't know our dynamics, I kind of stuck my heels down and turned into a donkey on you, wouldn't move. For me, I'm very adamant about this album, and I'll go to the '80s real quick. I was one of the guys that got a little mad when Eliminator came out. I'm not saying I'm an avid ZZ Top fan. I'm not, like I am with other bands, but I am an avid ZZ Top fan for what they are, man. And I love the band, and I think this album defined them. And I also think, till you go with what you know, right? I don't know if this was your first ZZ Top album.
It was.
It was mine. And, we talked about it earlier, and now we'll bring it to the forefront. This same time period of 2 to 3 years here, Peter Frampton's Pot Smoking live album, which, everybody's, getting toasty and listening to it. And you had Kiss Alive. That was pretty much of the spectrum, right? And you're like, how can you pull off another live album?
I was afraid he would lie.
Right. So, this album's great.
You're unlocked, Mark. I think that was a glitch. Are you back?
I am back. You locked up too, so
yeah, we both locked up. I think that was just a Facebook thing. But let's go back. Right. Peter Frampton Live came out.
Yeah, so we have the Dope Smoking album of Peter Frampton, which a lot of people love it. I hate it. And then you had Kiss Alive. More of the I hate to say it, I'm a Kiss fan, or the early Kiss stuff. It's kind of more bubblegummy. And that riff you just opened with, man, that was my introduction to Texas swing. What's Texas swing? Right?
Yeah.
And it's great. And it's grooving, and it's in your face. They come out like prize fighters. Texas style. It just still blows me away when I hear that.
That is a moment that stays with me. So let's talk a little bit so everybody knows. We decided to do this prior to Dusty Hill's death. This was supposed to be our show the week before Dusty died. We had to change our record schedule, and the week that Dusty died, we both just really didn't want to do this. I don't think.
No, I'm not an ambulance chaser.
So
I'll be honest too, man. I needed I just said I'm not the most avid ZZ Top fan, but I am definitely a hardcore fan of them. I needed some time to digest his death, and I never met the guy.
I think Dusty Hill, to guys like us that appreciate music, Billy Gibbons, of course, is the front man to ZZ Top in a lot of ways, but I compare it a lot to Michael Anthony and his background vocals. The sound of ZZ Top is Dusty Hill.
Yeah,
And,
I mean the rhythm section of ZZ Top.
Frank Beard, Dusty
Frank
Hill.
Beard, Frank Beard and Dusty knew each other before Gibbons ever showed up.
Right.
So they were already dialed in. And Dusty Hill, I'm a bass player, and Dusty Hill is a bass player. He purposely picked up the bass because his brother needed somebody. And within the first week, he was playing live and decided he had to get good quick. And man, we'll talk about it later, but he's a pocket groove bass player and the most underrated drummer of Frank Beard and him playing together. I know they got somebody that's replaced him right now playing, but don't kid yourself. It's that era of ZZ Top is now gone.
It was, and the gentleman replacing him is, I think Billy Gibbons' guitar technician is now slid over to bass.
Yep.
But it is not ZZ Top without Dusty Hill for me.
No, and I watched one of their shows on YouTube, and I'm going to pick on guitar players real quick. It's a guitar player playing bass.
Yeah,
not picking on the guy's skills. It's just that rhythm is not there. He's just A to B, and Dusty Hill had a knack for getting that pocket. Very underrated.
I had tickets to see this tour in November, and I won't be going, man. I just can't handle it. I mean, there's certain bands and certain, and we don't have to go down and make every comparison, but I think you and I both are guys that'll never see Kiss without Ace Frehley.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
I mean, that's just who we are. And Dusty Hill was my guy in ZZ Top, and that falsetto vocal and two, the energy, man. In preparing for this, I went back and watched a ton of mid-70s ZZ Top live performances, and God, the energy.
Oh my God. You watched him in the late 70s? They're untouchable.
Yep.
And then, not picking at the Eliminator. I mean, I got to see, we all went together and saw them on that tour. Very entertaining. Very good songs. But they figured out some stuff at that era to make some money. And God bless them for doing it.
It was definitely a catalog of, and I'm sure Eliminator bought them a bunch of houses and a bunch of cars. But It was strange the night you're talking about. It was the first time I saw ZZ Top live. It was Eliminator tour. For me, when they would go back and play something off of Diego or Fandango or Tres Hombres, it almost didn't fit the set.
No, it did not. It didn't fit.
It was like
it didn't fit the stage, the lights, the gimmicks. But I'm glad they did play it because that's why I went. So
yeah, absolutely.
And I think they enjoyed playing the old stuff more better on that tour. I swear that they would slow it down a little bit, and there was more energy without the fakiness. There was a lot of dance moves they did on that tour. Hey, you're there to be entertained. So
yeah,
and it was a different fan base.
I sure did like the songs that were at 3 bars blue and C, and just stay there and hustle, man.
Well, that's one of my notes here. So what amazes me about this band, and God bless Dusty Hill, he helped bring it. They brought Texas to America.
Yeah,
if you think about it. I was a kid listening to, this and that, and I'll be honest. If my dad's listening, sorry, man, I stole your album. I still got it, and I recorded it on an 8-track. And I wore my mom out with it. I was the butthole kid. We'd be in the car, put it in. I want to listen to, they listen to the Bee Gees and Bread. And I was like, nope, ZZ Top. And if you didn't want to play ZZ Top, it was Kiss. So guess what happened? ZZ Top got played.
A lot.
And man, for three guys, it just amazes me the racket they make.
Yeah.
They ain't three guys. You're like, where's the other two at? I saw them live, and it was before Backtracks. They can pull it off. And it's amazing what the skill set with this band.
They are, and I cannot remember, Mark. I swear I was going to remember it. And yes. ZZ Top, a little old band from Texas that's currently on Netflix, is a 90-minute documentary about ZZ Top. And I watched it prior to Dusty Hill's death. And
I need to watch it.
It's great. So let's set the background a little bit.
Yeah, well, I want to touch on one thing that, we talked earlier today, and I think you nailed it right on the head, man. I think another reason I've stuck with ZZ Top for so long, they're kind of you nailed it. They're a bridge band.
Absolutely.
When we first heard them with this album, while we're talking about it, they were a bridge of hard rock, Texas swing, and probably some heavy metal in there. We'll talk about some riffs. And these guys heavily influenced Pantera. Don't kid yourself.
Yeah.
When you hear that pocket groove going on, Pantera claims that they founded it. Yeah. Sorry, boys. Y'all were dropping the needle like we were, and you heard what we heard.
Same age, man. Don't tell me you didn't listen.
Yeah, and then on the same token, I've got some notes in here. You're going to hear Hot for Teacher. Sorry, folks. Eddie Van Halen was a big ZZ Top fan.
He was.
His grooves, and we got a lot to talk about, but Billy Gibbons is the king of harmonics. Well, guess who else was? Yeah, that was Eddie Van Halen and Dimebag. So here we are. That's why we're talking about this album. So I just hate that Dusty died, because that's why we wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, we were hoping to get it done. I was excited. I'm going to be torn. I mean, if you're out there and you want 2 tickets to see ZZ Top, hit me up, because I've got them. Let me tell you where I come with ZZ Top, and maybe this show should be more about our feelings and less about history. But I said it today, and I've talked ZZ Top today with several people. There was 2 things said today. One, a friend of mine who is a casual music fan goes, "Yeah, I love all those Southern rock bands. ZZ Top is anything but a Southern rock band."
Man. They ain't Molly Hatchet.
Yeah.
They ain't Skinner.
They were a true blues band. And in this album, you were going to hear blues rock. And that's and it's not the British interpretation, the Rolling Stones and Cream. This is true Memphis blues,
Yep.
New Orleans blues. But for me, I was a kid that loved hard rock and heavy metal.
Yeah, it had to have a guitar in it. You've lost my attention.
Right. And we were talking today, again, among our texts. We probably spend 5 hours discussing this before we get on here. The metal scene in America was dead. And it was British heavy metal. I mean, there's some great bands. Priest is there. Iron Maiden is there. But it wasn't I was looking for something more. Great Britain might as well have been on another planet to me. And I said it today to someone, and when I challenged them, they were like, "Wow, it's hard to do. Come up with an American band that was rocking harder than ZZ Top in the 70s."
Yeah, so it's funny you said that. So British Steel and all that. I'm going to say this. I got the misfortune of seeing Judas Priest open up for Kiss on the Dynasty tour. They checked weapons at that concert, and it was a good thing, because the crowd would have killed him and hauled him off. They were god awful back then. They got better after that. So we didn't have that much to listen to. Sabbath, my cousins introduced me to Sabbath. They scared me as a kid, so I wasn't listening to that.
We were just talking about the next album. I think I really got into Sabbath with Heaven and Hell
Yeah,
1979 release. And
I couldn't get into Sabbath till Dio showed up.
I then found Sabbath re-releasing. Now, a lot of people like to lump Zeppelin into that. I don't, because that's really not metal.
No,
It's a different. Zeppelin is almost their own category. You know, it's good music, but it's their own category. ZZ Top, to me, was in 76, 77, there was a lot of bad music going on.
Disco. Remember suffering with disco?
And then
as a kid, it was horrible.
The hardest rocking band I remember I could find in the 5th or 6th grade, because you know how you start wearing band T-shirts,
right?
Was Foreigner.
Yeah, and that was like, you look back at Foreigner now, you're like,
I was kicking the Foreigner 4 belt buckle in 79 and thought it was hard rock.
Right.
We were soon to find out different.
Right.
But also, we grew up in an age, it was in the early 80s that we got mobile, could go to clubs, go to bars, got jobs, and our lives radically changed. I remember recording ZZ Top off of the radio, like you said last time,
right.
Waiting with my little cassette, waiting for songs to come on. But it is truly a great American treasure. And this is from two guys that have radically different musical tastes than most ZZ Top fans.
Right.
Our friend Mike Kay was a huge ZZ Top fan, but he was a huge Eliminator fan. I don't know that I am Eliminator after.
I won't listen to it. I will not listen to it. It's just not me.
I'll throw Trey
Hombre. It's a great album, man. They nailed it. They nailed it. Hey, so one other, I was going to put one little asterisk on what we're talking about on Fandango, and you mentioned it earlier today, but to me, there's three Fandangos. When I'm talking about Fandango, for me, you're going to have to go to YouTube and find somebody that uploaded the actual LP, and they're out there.
Yes.
And they've even got that, man, and I miss it. It's that LP static. Remember, you heard static between the pauses on a dirty record? Somebody captured that, and I forgot how much better it is than the remastered one.
I have both
of
them in front of me, and we were playing the 2006 remaster. But there's a couple of times I want to go to the 1975 original recorder. As we get into this, we'll discover that.
And I get the remaster. You know, a lot of them are remastered. They'll tell you they're giving you higher quality. As Jerry Springer says, that is a lie. They're doing it for record rights.
Absolutely. And
we're grabbing it for a new record right. Oh, we gave you a new updated one. Oh, it's got 2 extra tracks. I don't care. I want to hear the original, pal. You can give me the new stuff on the flip side. That's the way it works today. So anyway, quick rant.
I went to the Beatles, La Cage à Flow, whatever it is, Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah.
Beatles Love. And they have a total remastered, like, greatest hits of the Beatles. If you put those remastered Beatles songs on, you can't recognize them to the original songs. Truly.
Well, Ozzy's the same way. He got musicians to come in and re-record it.
So
that should hurt your credit score.
Man, we could go through this and never even talk about the songs, but I guess we need
Hey, and I've got one more, man, on my note here, and I think we both feel the same way. And you talked about feelings. I'm usually more analytical. I know tonight I won't be. And for better or for worse, I went and watched Dusty Hill's last performance. It's like 10 days ago.
Yeah.
It broke my heart.
He was
broken, hurting, and literally on his deathbed. And, you know, I want to ask the $1 million question here. When's enough? If he was hurting that bad, I'll be honest, as a fan, I wanted him home.
Yeah.
It just breaks my heart.
You know, those guys.
I guess they led to play. I don't know.
I was thinking about it after you texted me today, and I guess the only way he would have rather went out would have been on the stage playing.
Yeah, and that'd been terrible.
But the one thing about his last performance, there's a point, and he's sitting down on an amp, and he's playing off a microphone that's off the drum riser,
Right.
and he starts singing, and you could
It's-
just hear the voice is so
You
weak.
can hear pain in there.
But man, I don't think about it. But either
Yeah.
way, you know, I did not know I would get so emotional about Dusty Hill, but I have been.
I didn't either. You know, I mean, as a bass player, totally respect him. Play, you know, he played the cello?
Did not.
You know, I didn't know that. Plays keyboards, knew that. Great singer, sings half their songs. Didn't really think about it till now he's not here.
My favorite ZZ Top songs are the ones that usually play with Dusty's lead singing and Billy's back and forth.
I love them.
I heard it on the X and stuff
I'm
like
stopping
that.
and listening.
It's just awesome. So
yeah, it's heartbreaking.
So this is a 36-minute classic. From what I picked up, it originally was supposed to be a live album. They decided they had about a half of a live album, and they went in the studio and recorded half of a live album. They were coming off their biggest album to date in Tres Hombres. The albums after this, I think, failed to sell the numbers that they should have. And I think part of it, reason, Mark, is the A side of this album captures the ZZ Top live. And I don't think you can capture that sound in the recording studio as you can live.
Yeah, and I remember my cousins about that time, not ZZ Top fans, but hey, this is a popular album. I'm going to get it and listen to it and listen to my, I hate to say it, my Camaro or my pickup truck. I think the success of this album being half live when they, you know, the next one came out, everybody's like, hey, what's this? And their sound was changing too. Yeah. It was a warning shot to Eliminator. I had no idea at the time. I kind of liked it where it was going, but I didn't realize that's as far as I wanted it to go. But, and I'm not knocking that Eliminator out. Please, if somebody's going to go, oh my gosh. I'm not. I think it's great stuff. It's just.
Sold millions of copies, and MTV loved it. And it just wasn't my favorite. Eliminator would probably be my 6th or 7th favorite ZZ Top album.
Yeah, and you know, maybe it's the feelings again. You know, there you are. You've been listening to them for years, and somebody comes up to you, hey, you heard of ZZ Top?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, a little bit. Oh, they're great. They're great.
Well, we've also, us music snobs, and we both are, we sometimes get our feelings hurt because the world finds a band that we've been listening to for a decade, and they're like, oh, have you heard this band? And you're like, yeah, for the last decade.
Yeah.
So this opens up with, and I sent you the thing, a song they do not own.
Yeah.
It was recorded in the 50s. The people who originally recorded it didn't copyright it. So ZZ Top decides to record it, goes in and copyrights it, and now owns Thunderbird. So we opened
for people who don't know, we're going to show our age. Thunderbird is not a Ford product. It is a rock gut liquor that will send you into rehab because your liver failed, not because
Thunderbird's bad business, man.
It is horrible. Fly with the bird. Yeah, boy.
One of my favorite parts of this, and again, Facebook, YouTube, if you need to take my royalty rights from this, I don't care. Tonight ain't about money. It's about a tribute to somebody I respect. But I want to play you this little section of Thunderbird. I just love this. Hey, that's a great lead. But do you hear Dusty Hill walking the dog underneath that?
I hear him walking it. And you know what else I also hear? I hear the progression later to the Vaughn brothers, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this band influenced so many people.
We haven't even talking about the people out of the Texas scene like Stevie Ray Vaughan did. And I think even if not from the Texas swing, you can direct. It's not a dotted line to people like George Thorogood.
No, it's
ZZ Top. It's a straight line. So Thunderbird comes out. It's a huge song. It's kind of a production song. I think the crowd noise is just perfect. And I remember they go into the next song, which is a cover of an Elvis song. And I'm like, this is the last thing I want to hear is somebody covering an Elvis song.
Right.
But
But Dusty Hill is a huge Elvis fan.
it does not. It is well done. Covering Elvis is almost like today trying to cover Led Zeppelin. Greta Van Fleet, shout out to you. It's almost like, how do you do it? And they've done it remarkably different. I just want to play this, one of the most known opens in music.
Yeah, so right there, I'm gonna pause this real quick. So I got some notes on Thunderbird why I love it so much. First of all, none of it's backtracked like stuff is today.
No,
Those
it
three
is not.
cats are on the stage, and guess what? It's so legit. In the beginning, when the MC comes out and announces ZZ Top, you hear them still. They're looking down, tuning. You can hear them picking. They're about to come out.
Yep.
They come out, and I swear it's like somebody's throwing a bowling ball through a car window. They're coming out, man. And, you know, they're the original party band. Van Halen got that title. That's not true. It's ZZ Top. And like we said, too, Frampton Alive was out about this time. Dude, I love it. And so real quick, I rated this, and I'm going to give you my rating right now.
I forgot to get the rating. Yeah. I'm glad you brought it. I got it.
Yeah. So I know that we always were a little off the scale on the way we do things on this. I give it a 9+, man.
I had an 8.5 just because I've got to go up to.
Right.
I got to go up.
Yeah. So my other quality indicator of a song, right? Would I skip this? No. Absolutely not. Actually, I'm going to turn the volume up.
I don't have a skip in this album.
Oh, I do. Oh, I got one for you.
Okay.
I'm going to bash the crap out of it. It's going to get ugly.
We'll see where it's at, but
you'll be surprised.
On the side or the
I'm not telling you.
Okay.
Every time I hear it, I get mad.
All right, so let's go. I got 8.5 and 9.
Yep.
I got to the lick of Jailhouse Rock. It's just this monster lick.
Yeah, so real quick, so we're back to Van Halen again. Van Halen's formula was, we'll give you a lot of original stuff, but we're going to give you a song you heard to make you feel comfortable. Motley Crue went with that same formula. So they give us Jailhouse Rock, man. We've heard it. We've heard it 1,000 times. By our age group, we heard it so much we threw up every time we heard it. And then this comes out, and I'm like, I didn't know you could play a song like that, especially a lame song. Jailhouse Rock. They nailed it.
I'm gonna play it again just because I want to hear Dusty Hill walk it one more time.
Yep.
I mean, we all know Jailhouse Rock.
Yeah, and I hate that song till now. Right here. There. So if you play, we'll get in trouble if we keep playing the song, but halfway in that song, now we get the Pantera influence. You're like, how can you get Pantera influence on Jailhouse Rock? The rhythm section is so tight. They're in groove metal on Jailhouse Rock. I don't know. Still don't know how they pulled that off. The harmonies. It's just, and then, you know, we're back to Billy Gibbons and his use of harmonics on the scale. They nailed it.
I love, and again, we try to keep our clips to 15 seconds right. Normally, no hope not. I love this section of the song.
Right there.
I mean, how do you go from what is originally recorded to that?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, my mom may be listening, and she
Hey, Miss Pat, I love you.
She is a huge Elvis fan, and God rest his soul, our buddy Brad loved Elvis.
Yeah.
I personally thought Elvis sucked. And the song I hate the most from him is Jailhouse Rock. And this song is getting killer on it.
I'm going to offend more people than you. You think Elvis sucks. I think old Elvis sucks, and give me Vegas Elvis in 1974. And I think that Elvis is cool. And that offends more people than anything.
I got offended.
I love.
Oh my God, it's so like cheeseball, man.
Yeah. Poke salad Annie
on the stage, the big cape.
I love that Elvis, man.
Wow, I want to get him off the stage.
I love it. I told Brad that one time, and he almost had a heart attack.
He probably what got him.
I was like, I hate Elvis in the 50s. I love him in the 70s.
Wow.
So I'm the one guy. But I just love it, the fact that they just hammer that lead, and it's a slide, and it just stays there. You know,
to be honest, that slide should not be in that song.
Probably not.
There. And it sounds great. It's crazy.
Well, I wish I could remember his name. Johnny Cash's guitar player is real famous. They asked him about why he don't do more flying around and runs and stuff, and he's like, I'm in the pocket. I just kind of hang out there. That's ZZ Top. They kind of.
Yeah, the thing about ZZ Top, they're so tight that they'll come out and then it's almost got a jazz type structure, but there's no jazz being played. It's crazy. 3 guys making that much racket. It's crazy. So anyway, I'm going to rate it. You ready? As much as I hate Jailhouse Rock, I give it an 8.
Oh.
Hello.
Hey, I'm still here. I just,
You had an earthquake? Hello. So I'll just talk here. Am I here?
Yes, you are.
All right. So anyway, now I'm gone. So folks, it's just me. If you would like to buy some cleaning supplies, I recommend Amazon or Kmart.
Hey, we got killed for Jailhouse Rock on a couple of sites already. I don't care. We're going to keep recording.
Come on, man.
Here, I told you Facebook would get us.
Mark Zuckerberg can.
So we'll get it out to the people. It's on my personal Facebook. If nobody else can hear it, they can go there. So we'll keep. I'm going to do it, man. I'm telling you, I don't care at this point. So they got it. They whacked it. All good. So
So anyway, back at the ranch for whoever's the one person that's listening now. I rate this song, and like I said, as much as I hate Jailhouse Rock, I give it an 8+. I will not skip it.
No, I give it a 7.5, and it's not a skip for me. Not at all.
I ain't skipping it.
All right. So I've got us on. Let me see where we're still on at. And stay with us. We are still on the RiverCity-Media page. We are still on the Marion Messenger page. We are still on YouTube. YouTube hasn't killed us yet. And again, folks, tonight is about nothing but a tribute to Dusty Hill. It's all I care about.
Yeah.
If I get a Facebook violation,
you want to flag, we don't care. Hey, it may just be us 2 talking. We don't care. We love this band and this album.
So let's move on past Jailhouse Rock. I gotta get everything set up. Here we go. All right. So I think this could be your skip. I don't know.
You're gonna be surprised.
I actually parts of this I absolutely love.
I love every bit of it.
Got to mellow down easy, baby.
So wait a minute. So we're both from the South,
right?
To me, that was early country rap by an auctioneer. Yeah. We grew up with auctioneers. I'm not offended. I'm actually impressed.
I love the song, and
Although it's stupid and I don't know what they're saying.
well, and it's 10 minutes long.
10 minutes.
It's 10 minutes long, and it goes forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, man, that's something else I want to touch on. You know, I think another band that got influenced by ZZ Top,
Who's that?
The Offspring.
Could
You know how
be,
The Offspring, their songs are at the most 3 minutes? They figured it out, radio play, right? Most of the songs on this CD, album, tape, 8-track, whatever you listen to, most of them are less than 3 minutes. This is the one that's the barn burner. But, you know, it is what it is. So I like this song, dude. I can talk about it.
I'm just going to go ahead and play it.
Sound. It's groove Texas swing metal.
Here we go.
That part. You're like, and right there, I gotta say something, man. So I'm gonna show my ignorance as a kid. So remember, we didn't have internet, we didn't have MTV, and ZZ Top definitely wasn't on the TV. I would look at that album cover and I saw white guys on it. But to be honest, as a kid, I thought Billy Gibbons was black. His soulful voice, and I was like, that ain't no white guy can sing that good.
Yeah.
And then when I first saw him, I was like, that's 3 white guys. Wait a minute, the album is 3. Wait a minute. That was my wait a minute moment with him. And it was his song. I thought it was, I didn't know.
Well, on the album cover, we should have mentioned they're 3 pre-beard guys in nudie suits, which is the famous country suits.
I want one of those so bad.
I'm telling you, man, I'd wear it to work tomorrow.
I want one of those so bad. Hey, okay, now you're going to judge me. The Porter Wagner suit?
Yeah.
I wear it every day. I'd go to the Piggly Wiggly wearing
it. Oh, man. But
I would rock it.
And it's hard to keep me on these jam songs. And this is a jam song.
Yeah, and that's the only thing I can badmouth here, and I didn't stick with it. I like the Allman Brothers, but I won't listen to them because they're a jam band.
No, I love the
Get on with it.
But Allman Brothers Live is like pulling a tooth for me.
10 minutes later, 2 sandwiches made.
Hey, man, find another chord. There's a third one there somewhere.
But, you know, this one's kind of like 3 songs in one. So if you get past the auctioneer stuff, dude, it's early. To me, I got early rap, that alt picking. Hey, that influenced a lot of guys, the way he was playing that guitar.
All right. What did you give it overall?
I gave it a 7.
Me too.
But I won't skip it.
I won't
as much as he's auctioneering it.
The fact that I can sing, gotta mellow down, gotta mellow down, gotta mellow down, easy, baby.
I say I won't skip it. So I'm going to show my age again. My car, I paid a lot of money for it back in the day. It was a cassette player, and it had a skip feature. I could hit a button, and it was made to skip between songs that pause. I could do it and get past the crap, and I would skip this part. I have to admit it.
All right. Well, next is Nasty Dogs and Funky Kings.
Oh, my gosh, dude.
A song that has grown on me over the years. At first, I was kind of like...
Yeah, I was like, And the older I've gotten, the higher it's gone up in ranking for me. Hey, I got a note before we get going here. We're back to which version are you listening to?
Right.
This song really changes in the remix. I call it the remix. It was the remastered one. The original one that you can find, and they're out there on YouTube with the staticky Skippy LP playing on vinyl. I prefer the vinyl version of this. So,
okay.
A little jab there. So, anyway.
I think I have thought I'd bookmarked the vinyl version of this song, but I haven't.
It doesn't matter. I mean, on an audio stream, I don't think it'll pick it up. There's a lot of nuances going on. It's real good with headphones.
But let's get killed and just played a little bit.
Yeah, just go ahead and get censored again.
And I'm gonna stop right there. Billy Gibbons and Dusty Hill both write very plain lyrics that us being Southern, and I'm not throwing
right.
out.
Yeah. You're right.
That there's words in there that you almost have to have the Southern dictionary to get what he's trying to say.
I think there's probably somebody above the Mason-Dixon line probably does not appreciate this song.
Yeah.
But hey, let's say it again. This is not Southern rock.
It is not, and it is true blues. This song,
there's a lot of things going on, dude. So my biggest note I got here, yeah, you got that picking and the howl from Gibbons. If you isolated him out, that drum mix beat and then that bass line going, dude, there's a lot going on there. And how they came up with that, I still don't get it.
I think I just figured out what song you skip. We'll get there in a minute.
Oh, yeah, you're getting there.
But I really, this is a song that I enjoy. So I have what I call, and I don't have it anymore, but back in the day when we all had CDs, you could burn your own CD and you would have an eclectic CD.
Right.
This song was on one of my, I want to get in the car and calm down, I'm mad at the world CDs.
I called this my driving ZZ Top song.
Yeah.
Earlier words and Diaglo, or I may be butchering the name. That was some driving music.
Yeah, it was. I can still remember the way it was burned. And I want to say it was some 90s alt rock band, then this song, and then like a Pantera song. So
and they were. It's we're back to ZZ Top's a bridge band.
Right.
And dude, so another thing that's going on here, Billy Gibbons and that swagger singing he's doing, he nailed it. And then he's really shining with his use of, he figured out harmonics to get that bright sound, still have some twang in it, but yet let it come out above. And it really worked for a three-piece band. It let the other guys come back behind them and fill it in.
I think I may be higher on this song than you are. When I originally wrote it down, I wrote down at 8.5.
We're close.
I went up to 9 on this.
I'm a 9, dude. We're down. Actually, I got 9+, and I got on my note. I won't skip it. Matter of fact, I'll rewind it.
Right. My two favorite ZZ Top songs are coming up, and when I was grading this, I was like going,
"Oh no,
where am I going to go with these other two songs if I give this one the max?" So,
but that, you know what though? That said, man, there's a reason we're talking about this album. It's that good. If you're going to start a collection, you buy this one.
It's a must own.
And I'd go try to find some old vinyl.
So, country guys have this CD or this vinyl.
Yep.
Rock guy has this vinyl. Metal guy has this vinyl. There's few bands that you can find in multiple collections. And I remember I got in a friend's car, was African American, and we were riding around. And I looked, and this was back in the day, and I looked down in his tape box, and they were a lot of Gap Band, a lot of some Swoop in there, and over in the corner was ZZ Top Fandango, and he was like,
our friends, we had the same friends, and I always accuse them, hey, you're a closet ZZ Top fan. He goes, man, don't tell nobody. Man, they're good though. You're like, yeah, they're good.
Yep.
They are good, man. 3 guys making a lot of racket.
So the next song I'm not crazy about, but it's traditional blues.
Okay, can I pull the Band-Aid off?
Yeah.
This is it. I hate this song.
I kind of thought that we were headed.
Well, wait a minute. Let me just go on my quick rant. What's this song about? Oh, it's about him losing his chick. Absolutely freaking not. It's about it wash day. He's digging through the laundry and he finds his blue jeans. I hope they were stoned when they wrote this song. I hate this song. I feel like I'm in a Levi's commercial. I hate it.
I was debating between this, and I absolutely love Mexican Blackbird. I was hoping it wasn't going to be it.
That said, it sounds like their old work, which I love.
Yeah.
They went back to their roots, which I love. But I don't want to hear about no blue jeans.
I finally found my old blue jeans.
Blue jeans. I'm thinking it's about his girl. I'm like, why? Is that a nickname? Then later, I'm like, it's freaking wash day.
I have it's got the oil and the gas and the gasoline. Yep.
I want to slap you for writing that.
What did you give it?
Seriously?
Yeah.
I gave it a 7. It's still good.
I gave it a 6.5, and I'm making fun of it.
I got a note here, though, man. And I got to give a kudo to my dad, man. He's big into the blues. And when I'm saying he's big in the blues, do not ride in the car with him if it's got anything over 30 minutes. Because it's hardcore. Please turn that crap off. But this fits right into all he listens to some obscure blues guys, and this fits right in there, other than talking about some blue jeans. That's why I gave it a 7.
This is Albert King and
yeah,
Muddy Waters and yeah.
But they didn't sing about their pants.
Yeah. They all right.
Wash Day. I'd have named it Wash Day instead of that. But anyway.
One of my 2 favorite songs we're going to talk about is Next. And I absolutely love this song. I love the fact that it's a bar and it's a real place. Yes. It's a place they used to go play. It's a place, if you listen to the music or the song, the lyrics, it's about going and jamming at a nightclub.
Yeah. So I got a note there, man. I got to, try to put myself back in the past. And a lot of these bands got smoked. They changed the drinking age from 18 to 21, and it really hurt a lot of bands. I was reading an article about Billy Sheehan, of all things, that played in David Lee Roth, and they were talking about how their revenue went in half when the drinking age got changed. Because, like you were saying, we were about 18, we were more mobile, had more time, and by the time 21 hits, for us, at least at that time, responsibility starts showing up.
That's when I also changed my name to Kevin Eason at that point in life.
My alias.
Cliff Eason's older brother, who was 6'4", also. He shouldn't have lost his license at his brother's house. So me and Kevin were both Kevin Eason going into many bars. But Down at the Balinese is just a great song. It's one of those, it's a toe tapper is what I call it too. Yep. It's just and I'm going to play a little of it. Let me just play the opening. I'm a fan of this first chorus in this song. And again, vocals. I love this. Harmony.
Yeah.
That is my second favorite of all time, ZZ Top song.
Yeah, so some of my notes, man, what impressed me with this song, Billy Gibbons, noted for his guitar playing abilities, but what I think he really shows off here, he's a very good rhythm guitar player.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I see that.
Yeah, and another thing I think got captured here, especially for that era, I listened to this whole song today, and I got kind of tingly hearing Ace Frehley. And then I got thinking, why was I hearing Ace Frehley? And then I'm thinking, well, duh, it's the 70s Les Paul.
Yeah.
You can't replicate that sound anymore. and and then Dusty. Let's talk about that, man. That's another thing. Gibbons finally let Dusty do his thing, and it's great. And that drum work while he's singing, the drummer in this song, Frank Beard, is the lead guitarist right now. It's great. I love this song, dude. It's got such a good vibe. It's a happy vibe.
It is, like I said, it is one of my go-to songs. If I get in my car, like so many people now, you don't really have music in your car. You listen to YouTube.
Right.
If you go to my YouTube, The Balinese is one of the most Googled songs. It's one that comes up on my front page. There's probably 2 ZZ Top songs that I play at least every week at some point. This is one of them, and I absolutely love the harmony and the vocals of this song.
I wish they'd have done more of that.
Yeah, granted, a lot of times it's that one vocal, but I just love that harmony. I love the harmony.
This song, man. So I got to talk about feelings again, but with Dusty's passing, I'm like, how are they going to fill the void? They're definitely going to have to change their set list.
You can't play this song without Dusty Hill.
No, it's done. You're not, and there's a lot of other songs you're not going to hear. If you do, that's different. I don't know, man. It's a big loss. I'm glad we're doing this show. It sucks. And this hearing this song today kind of brought it back home that, hey, I'm not going to hear anything.
And it's not like you and I are the most touchy-feely guys in
there.
No. But, I mean, we said today, and I've said it here, this is how I'm trying to make a living one day, and I'm willing to take a violation on my account because it's that important to me because I really think this album is it's
a time capsule.
It is. And when I think about this album, and I don't even know if any songs from this album is in the movie, but in my head, I'm thinking about, we grew up in a little small town.
Yep.
I can still see us all riding around in a Charger, El Camino, Mustangs, and it's straight out of Dazed and Confused for me.
Yeah, another thing too, we've talked about it in other shows, but show our age again and the environment that we grew up in. It was really hard to find, I'm going to say, good music. We had an awesome record store in town. We had an awesome individual who ran it, God rest his soul. But they sold stuff that sold. They had to.
Yeah. How small businesses work.
Yeah. They can't sell the obscure stuff. And ZZ Top, by this time, was still obscure except for Fandango. But the time they were selling it, we already heard it. This was a rare treat for us to find a band like this. It was country music all around us, and it was tough. It was really tough to find music. And
it was not necessarily the best period of country music either. It was horrible. I mean, I listen to country music now. There's some bands I listen to in country, but I'll challenge you to go find country music in the late 70s, early 80s that were worth a spit on.
No, I'm out.
Ronnie Van Zant had been killed. That's what I grew up on. We were waiting on the LA scene. I mean, I think in a way that's the reason the LA scene exploded.
Yeah.
We were all waiting on something. They were few. I can remember struggling to find Bad Company and a few bands like that were a little different. And then 5 years from now, we had bands running out of our ears. Right. So it was really a tough time.
Yep.
Musically.
So what did you rate this song?
9.75.
Wow, that's high for you. You've never done that. I give it an 8.
Because I'm going to go 10 here in a minute. And I've not ever gave a 10, I don't think, on this show. The next song.
Okay, I got a warning label for you fans out there. When was this album come out? 75?
75.
Okay. 1975. Put your brakes on. This show that you're watching right now is 2021. It was a different time.
It was.
if you get offended by words, this ain't your song.
No, oh, definitely not.
Not your song.
It's definitely got some racial overtones in it, and
But they weren't racial back then.
it wasn't.
They were compliments.
And it's a song that, and we're talking about Mexican Blackbird.
Right.
I'm not the biggest fan of this song.
I am.
It's not a skip track for me. It's.
And I'll tell you why I like it.
Why do you like it?
Off the gate? So it goes back to our Southern heritage roots. And God, please don't say because it's racist. No, man. Billy Gibbons really turned it to 11 on that Texas twang.
Yeah.
And he's making fun of country. And we knew he was making fun of country. And he was talking about a place he loved to go to. And that's what's going on. And if you've ever been around your buddies and somebody's really country, we rag them pretty hard. And we start talking like that. Well, this is what's going on here.
Little tongue-in-cheek.
A lot of tongue-in-cheek. So, I love there it is.
Don't spend all your money on just any honey that's grown.
I mean, you can hear it when you think of it in that tone.
Go find the Mexican blackbird and send all your troubles back home.
You know, Mark, you might have just taught me something. I never listened to that song in that.
That's what's going on, my friend. They're laughing while they're making this song.
Let me go get my skull.
Yep. Hey. They're, you know, Billy Gibbons is a hip dude. So if you don't think he's making fun of some stuff, yeah, man. So I got to go with some of the stuff that I think is hilarious, and we will get censored on this one. I'm going with the lyrics. Her daddy was the ace of spades. You couldn't say that today. And then they called her Puta because they didn't know her name. I probably just got banned on that one.
Yeah.
It's not PC. And then the other one, I love this lyric. She's hot as a pepper. I mean, it's you know, the other thing those tones, let's just throw those out the window now. We know they're wrong, but what really got me when I re-listened to this today, there's drinking and driving in this song and smoking blunts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, what? 1975, folks. You don't think it's changed? Have a beer, go down the road to your favorite beer joint. Keep your hands on the wheel. That's one of the lyrics. It's a great tongue-in-cheek song. Now that I've said all that out front, listen to that twang again. If you're not laughing at the end of this song, go see your shrink because this is a great, funny song.
I don't know that I ever listened to that song in that.
That's an eye opener once you peel that away. You're like, wait a minute. I've caught on to what this is really about. It's a comedy. So, you know, I thought about that too, man. So I was like, is it really comedy? You know, a couple of big albums that were out this era, and I grew up on them, was Cheech and Chong.
Absolutely.
I think the guys were cashing in a little on that because remember, we didn't have video. If you wanted to hear something funny, it came out of a record. And Cheech and Chong had some of the number 1 through top 10 albums of this era. So I think that was another vibe that was going on at that time. So
I've always liked this song just because it was kind of campy.
Yes.
But now I could probably laugh at this song.
I laugh every time I hear it. And I'm giggling. I mean, like belly laughing.
So,
what'd you rate
this one higher than me, probably.
All right. What'd you give it?
I gave it a 7.5.
I gave it an 8.
Ah.
Yep. Because it's just tongue in cheek, twangy country.
So we're running late, but I want to move on to my favorite ZZ Top song of all times, every album, everywhere. And I want to give a little history about this song. This song is a tribute to Wolfman Jack and the stations that were in Tijuana at the time, playing 100,000 watt AM music all over the nation.
Yeah, so you know, I'm a electrical guy. So let me give you a little background. 100,000 watts on AM is insane. Back in the day, it was 500, maybe 1,500. And these cats, I did some more research. The guy that was doing this radio station behind the scenes was in Kansas selling goat glands for impotence for men, and had ads, and lost his license. So he's like, oh yeah. He goes down to Juarez, Mexico, cranks it up to 11 on 100,000 watts. They said, my cousins talked about this radio station. They said that they could pick it up on a barbed wire fence. That's how hot this station was, dude. AM. They said there was people up in Saskatchewan, Canada, listening to this station.
You know, the movie, what is the movie? American, whatever it is, Graffiti, is based on them listening to this station in some suburban Los Angeles community, you know, and at the same time, people were listening to that station right here in Chattanooga.
Right.
You know?
So, and I got thinking about it, man. So this was kind of before my time. They said, you know, show my age, 66, before my time. But I was a kid, you know, I was into electronics and didn't know that it was going to be my career. But I had a shortwave AM FM radio. My folks thought I was asleep. I had that earpiece in. I was loose. I tried to hear as much bootleg music as I could. It wasn't FCC approved. And people are like, why'd y'all do that? We didn't have internet, fool. And we couldn't get good radio stations. It was country. And I'm talking bad, twangy country. So if you could hear something new, you do everything you could.
So at the same time, me being a big sports guy, I was doing the same thing and trying to pick up new. I could listen to LSU football on WWL out of LA, out of New Orleans to this day, 8:70 a.m. at night. You can turn it on your car stereo here in Chattanooga and pick it up any day of the week.
Right. Nobody listens hardly to AM anymore, but get to show our age again. FM came out. The reason FM came out was for the fidelity, because it had better sound. AM has a better wavelength and travels further, and can also skip on the atmosphere. So the reason for this song is Dusty Hill and Gibbons bonded by talking about the ex when they first got together, and it led into a song. So anyway, we'll keep going here. That's the tribute to this radio station.
I want to read some of these lyrics too. But I misspelled heard. I want to tell you what I spelled.
So one of my notes here. So I think they're playing around. Gibbons is writing this riff, right? And he's clowning. I think he goes up to Beard, the drummer, goes, "Hey man, I got this great riff. You think you can do something with it?" And Beard probably looked him straight dead in the eye and goes, "Yeah, watch this. Dude, the guitar works amazing, but the drumming's crazy good."
I just absolutely love these lyrics.
And it's groove metal.
Do you remember back in 1966, Country Jesus, Hillbilly Blues? That's where I learned my licks. Oh, from coast to coast and then line to line in every county there. I'm talking about that Outlaw X cutting through the air. I mean, that's just like they're telling you this station ruled the air.
My older cousins that kind of were get me into music, they talked about it, because when that song came out, I was like, "What's this song about?" And they're like, "Oh, let me tell you."
I'm gonna play you.
And it eventually got shut down.
I won't play enough to get us shut down here because I love this song. Nothing better, man.
Yeah, real quick.
Rock and roll.
So that picking. Let's go to 1984 now.
Yeah.
Hot for Teacher. It's there. The root note, it's all there. So you know what Eddie Van Halen was listening to. The other thing that gets me on this song, and I wish they had done more of it, was Hill and Gibbons
Yeah, I love that.
going
That's
back and
Reason's my
forth,
favorite
man. And
song.
then that drum in there,
Bum,
dude,
ba-dum.
it's an amazing song. 1975? Are you kidding me? It sounds like
I
it came
think
out
it is the
yesterday.
vocals that make me buy all in on this song. I love those vocals.
You know, so we saw them on Eliminator, and it was the campy, you know, twirling guitars, walking in step, beer up to their knees. But I have to admit, when I heard this live and they got back to where they came from, well, hearing this live is amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
You know, I can.
yeah,
There's certain bands that certain songs will stop you in the track, and I think this is ZZ Top's version of that. Not the most popular song. I mean, that's coming up
no,
next.
and that was the other thing I was going to touch on. So, you know, guys that weren't there, I think another reason I wanted to do this show is, you know, we got to experience a lot of it, and we were lucky seeing these guys live. You had the Eliminator crowd, and then you had the new crowd, or the old school crowd like us. The Eliminator crowd didn't get up and move around, man. The old guys, you looked around and you knew who the old fans were. It was a divisive song. Yeah, I love this song, man. I mean, I love this song. Would you rate it?
I gave it a perfect 10.
I gave it a 10. It's a
So,
masterpiece.
It is.
It is a masterpiece.
My favorite song ever. Now, in our last, running a little long, but that's okay. We move on to arguably till the Eliminator, their biggest song.
Yeah, so I got a little tidbit here too. I had a friend tell me later when I was a teenager where it came, you know, this was their very well played radio song for them.
All the time.
And she hated it. She hated it. I'm like, why do you hate this song so much? She goes, well, Tush is Jewish Yiddish for female anatomy. I'm like, what?
Right?
And I'm like, oh my God. And you think about the lyrics and you're like, it is that. Yep. Talking about town to go get some.
And in a way, this song carried this band through some hard times because the next, like I said, Till Eliminator, the album, I mean, this was a top 10 album. They did not have another top 10 album until 1983 or 84.
And I kind of wonder too if people didn't buy this album because, you know, you could buy a single 45s back then.
Right.
And I think people bought Tush. Man, I really like this song. So then they buy the album, right? And then the next album comes out and there's no Tush on it.
Right.
There's not even a song close to Tush on the next album.
Right.
So
and the licks are just.
Yeah. So the riff real quick. They've been playing just, you know, here we're back to Pantera. A lot of their songs started from sound check riffs. This was a sound check riff. I think they wrote this song in 2 minutes after they figured out the riff. They went for it. So it was written on the road. I love the song, but I don't like the song because it's been played so much.
It's kind of like in my book, people ask me why I don't listen to Skinner now. And I'm like, do you know how many times I've heard Freebird? I don't want to hear it again.
And Sweet Home Alabama and me hating Alabama football, I twitch.
But this song is just, it's been played on every classic rock station until it can't be played no more.
So, man, I got one more note here. As much as I don't listen to Tush hardly anymore, but this song, if you're in a bar fight, this is a song you won't play in.
Yeah, I can hear that.
This is a song you want. All right, I'm ready. You know, it's like. And I got another note. I said it once before earlier, but it's like somebody throwing a bowling ball through a car window. It just, that riff's coming right at you. So, anyway, I've talked too much.
Well, I turned it down so many times I forgot it was down.
But the bass, while you're queuing it up, the bass playing on this is just amazing. He's in the groove. He's playing scales, and he comes right back in your face. I don't know how he pulls it off. And he's going to be missed.
Absolutely going to get, this one will get us if nothing else does tonight.
Yeah, boy.
Because this is one of the most identifiable songs in the history of rock and roll.
Yep. Wait a
Well, we
minute.
all knew
So
what
now
it
that
meant.
you know what touch means, so how can you say it out loud? So now that you know what touch means, and I'm just looking for some touch, you went,
You've always known. It's just got.
that's now there.
Now you know for sure. So,
Yep.
if you had to rate this album overall, is this the best ZZ Top album?
I'm gonna be a lawyer on you real quick. I think if you want a ZZ Top album, which you should, this is the first one you get. This is I call it the gateway album. You can either go backwards and listen to. I love their first album. Guess what the name of their first album is? First album.
First.
Genius. So if you want to go from first album to here, you're going to be a happy camper, man. And then the next one, it's pre-Eliminator. And then you've got the Eliminator series, and then you start getting back to the roots. But for me, this is the first one you get. If you like this one, you could go left or right, and you're going to be a happy camper.
They are no cars at this point. They are no girls dancing. There's no MTV. Right. But what they are is 2,000-pound beavos and rattlesnakes on stage. So
yes. And if you don't like it, it's going to get louder. It's a great. So what'd you rate this song?
You know what? I had to put I've listened to it so many times biased out of the way, and I gave it a 9 because it's a 9 song in my book.
Okay, I would give it a 9, but I gave it an 8 because it's almost up there with Sweet Home Alabama.
It is. It has been more out. There's certain songs.
I hate to say it. I skip it.
I do too at this point.
That's because I heard it. I mean, I've heard it, and I heard it, and I heard it, and I heard it.
I mean,
yeah, I know.
I've just listened to it so much. This is my second favorite album. I thought it would become, at times, it would be my favorite album. I tell you, the fact that Balinese and Heard It on the X is on here, I just like the construction of Trey Hombre's better.
That's a great dude. Now, yeah. So that is a fantastic album.
It's what mood I'm in. If I'm in the mood where I just want to sit around and have a cup of coffee and just hate the world, I'm probably going to listen to Trey Hombre's. If I'm getting ready to go out and meet my boys and do something, it's probably going to be Fandango, Yeah,
real quick. I love the word Fandango.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it means.
It's like flamingo dancing. I had to look it up. Fandango.
I always thought that'd be a great name for a band, man.
There was a pro wrestler named Fandango, and he flopped. But that probably was
that his signature move, the flop.
Yeah, the Fandango. So,
what do you rate the album?
For those that got to see it live, congratulations. I'm not sure how many people are going to get to see it afterwards. And I've already gotten killed at least on 4 streams. That's the reason I got knocked off earlier.
Boom, boom.
But my goal is complete because, again, I love ZZ Top and I love this album. And I don't know why Dusty Hill's going to continue to tour and Frank Beard. They are. But
hey, let me ask you this. What did you think of that follow-up album after this? A little trivia thing going there.
I think the next 2 albums are really confusing to get to Eliminator. I actually understand when they get to Eliminator. And when you watch the documentary, they're basically broke.
Yes.
Their albums are not selling, and they're doing all this touring to try to make money. And they went through their first 10, 15 years of their career. These guys don't have the money some of us think they have.
Yeah, Dusty Hill, in between Fandango, worked at the airport.
Yeah, I mean,
he
also said that this album, they toured so much on this album that they had to go be normal people for a couple of years.
Right. The other thing that got me with this too, and I get it, you got this and you got the 2 albums, and the Line in the Sand and Eliminator. Billy Gibbons I think, is a little bit of a genius. He's very hip to what is current. He's very
Yeah.
intelligent. If you listen to an interview, he always holds back his intelligence because he doesn't want to dumb down to the crowd. He figured out the 120 click. They got Frank Beard to figure that out and playing, and they put an earpiece in his ear during that era. It's the disco beat.
It's a very distinctive style that you hear.
That legs and all that. If
Yeah.
you listen to the very back, you hear that tick, 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 and that's disco. And like it or not, it's still selling. Listen to the top 10 right now, and there's, with auto tune and that disco click.
There are some things on Eliminator and Afterburner and those albums that I like.
Me too.
But
they're not early ZZ Top.
It's not what this was.
No.
All right, Mark.
I totally get it. I went and looked at their net worth too, and I'm a numbers guy. They're barely getting there. And then when Eliminator hit, they went sky high.
They got there.
Their net worth is estimated at $60 to $75 million due to that era. Still have that money too. I'm proud of them for not going broke and doing stupid stuff.
And if you watch the documentary, I think there is a very good business relationship in ZZ Top.
Yes.
I think they not necessarily were the greatest friends that ever existed.
No, and so that was another thing. I was like, how the crap? Because there's some bands that I love that broke up. And I'm like, well, what was their deal? And Dusty Hill nailed it. He said, well, one, there's only 3 of us, so there's less friction. And he goes, and we got smart. Even when we couldn't afford it, we got our own tour buses.
Yeah. I mean,
he goes, we try to spend as much time apart because we're always together.
That's it.
I thought that was pretty prophetic. And
even we lived in a dorm a couple of years. And
with a guy, you got ugly a couple of times.
Yeah.
Right on top of each other.
I don't care how much you love somebody, after a while, you want them out of your damn face. You know?
Nothing personal. Wow.
Yeah.
What happened here?
Yeah. Yeah. Several times with Cliff too.
But man, I do. Back to the album. If you're buying an album and you're young and you're wanting to get I'm not going to use the word classic rock because this is not. You need this one. You really need this one.
Even one step farther. When I give a list of albums to people want to play guitar, this is on it.
Oh, how many people has he influenced? He's still influencing people.
Yeah, this is a good album. It's a great. You know what? It stands the 36 years later, or whatever it is, 46 years later. It stands the test of time.
Yes, I think this one should be put in the Smithsonian. Actually,
this is not Unga Bongo 1982, and you play it now and go, "Well, this was on the radio."
Yeah, we'll go. We should have. You know what we should do next time? Show what for that era. What was the top 10 songs of that era? And go, well, that sucks.
That's interesting. While we're doing this, we did, after much debate, and come up with an album for the next show. Would you like to tell them what that album is after much debate?
Well, that's what I'm looking at our list here, and I've got to go look. Oh man,
we went off the list. Dio and the Black Sabbath. Are we not going that way?
Heaven and Hell.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm already going to start the debate. That is not Black Sabbath, sir. That is Heaven and Hell.
Well, it's Ronnie James Dio in Black Sabbath.
That's Heaven and Hell.
At the time, the release of the album was Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell.
Right.
I did see them as Heaven and Hell later on. I did. And I respect that they did change the name because it was a different band.
And it was confusing, too, when they brought Ozzy back, I lost respect for them when they brought Ozzy back. Oh, there we go. And I'm going to really get it stirred up.
Top 10 songs of 1975.
All right.
Love Will Keep Us Together, The Captain and Tennille.
Oh, my God, that's horrible.
Right?
You remember the TV show? Real quick. You remember that crappy TV show?
Oh, it doesn't.
Oh, it's horrible. I want to beat that. I want to slap that hat off his face.
We're going to get a ways down before there's a song I would even listen to. Rhinestone Cowboy by Glenn Campbell.
Oh my God.
Philadelphia Freedom, Elton John. Before the Next Teardrop Falls, Freddie Fender.
Are you?
My Eyes Adore You, Frankie Valli.
Ah,
Some Kind of Wonderful, Grand Funk. That might be the first song I'll really listen to.
I'm not listening to that crap.
Shining Star, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I'll listen to that for 15 seconds.
Fame, David Bowie, which may be David Bowie's worst song. Laughter in the Rain, Neil Sedaka. One of These Nights, the Eagles.
Make this stop.
Thank God I'm a Country Boy, John Denver.
Okay, real quick. Wait a minute. Let's go back to Mexican Blackbird. Think about, thank God I'm a country boy. And they did Mexican Blackbird. It's you get it even more now.
So, first song that I would say I've listened to quite a bit is number 16, Blackwater, Doobie Brothers. I think that's a good song.
They're a great band. Fantastic band. But don't lie to me, son. You crank Country Boy and you have it in your car right now.
Yeah, Alice Cooper, Only Women Bleed, number 63.
I still don't get that song. I think Bad Thoughts.
Feel Like Making Love, Bad Company, number 68. Dude, there's songs I ain't even heard on here.
Like that top 10 would be my personal hell. If I get flushed down the toilet and I wake up, my hell, they're going to go, guess what your soundtrack is? I'm like, oh my God.
Let's see what the top 10 albums are, and then we'll call it a night.
That hurt my head, dude.
Top 10 albums of 1975. It's a video. I ain't doing a
I'm
video.
afraid.
Rolling Stones albums of 1975. Parliament, Chocolate City.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Willie Nelson, Redheaded Stranger.
Hey, real quick, I saw Willie Nelson in the late 70s on tour. My dad took me. Amazing. A lot of dope, though. My God, the dope.
Dude, let's skip. God, here, I'm just going to throw through some of them. Roxy Music, Siren. I don't even know if I've ever heard that. Paul
What is
Simons, Still Crazy After All These Years. Bob Dylan, Patti Smith, Neil Young, Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen, Fleetwood Mac. I'm going to go till there's an album I'd buy. Black Sabbath, Sabotage, 1975. Number 17 album. Number 19 album, Physical Graffiti. Number 20 album, Toys in the Attic.
You know what? We could do. You know what? You know an album I don't like?
What's that?
Toys.
It's not my favorite Aerosmith. I do like Physical Graffiti. May be my favorite Led Zeppelin.
Oh. So okay. So real quick, all that music you just mentioned, I've got to ask myself, how did this album come out?
It was in.
How did they talk to some record producer company going, you know what? This is who we are. How did they even get a phone call?
You know, they were non-selling but very big touring act, and that's what kept them going all those years.
But you know that's got to burn you out, man.
Yeah, I mean, this album only charted in 3 countries, and only in the top 40 in one country, which was the U.S., and it peaked at number 10. So we will be visiting my favorite metal vocalist from Mountain, from Rainbow, from Dio, from Heaven and Hell. Ronnie James Dio, I still think's the best metal vocalist I've ever
What
saw.
amazes me with him?
Do what?
What amazes me with him is how tiny he was, and how loud he was.
I don't know how I did, but I went and seen Dio in the era that we were all going to concerts together, and it was like me and Mike Miller, and that was it. I don't think it was Mike; it was somebody else. maybe it was me and Alvin or somebody. No one else went with us, and it was on the Last in Line tour. You know, it's probably Andy Wade. I think it was Andy.
Right.
And
So
nobody really cared to go, but to me, I left that night.
yeah, man, and back then, we'll get into the show with that. I was a huge Dio fan, the solo act. And remember Tipper Gore and all that stuff?
Yeah,
They were shutting stuff down.
absolutely.
I drank Kool-Aid on that, and you cannot convince me any other way. I'm going to show my Catholic background real quick. But somebody showed me his logo and flipped it.
Yeah,
And
devil.
it spelled devil. And I got rid of my stuff.
Yeah.
And I
And Dio literally in Italian is God.
Yeah, but when you flip his logo on the album, it spells devil.
Yeah.
And I went, I'm out, cat.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm not smoking a dog turd in hell.
So
And then I got older, I realized that was a gimmick.
He said that too, it was to, and if you listen to the lyrics, like Last in Line, two angels in the east, is it good or evil? The answer lies between. And I really believe Ronnie James Dio believed there was no good, ultimate bad, that life was just different shades of gray.
Right.
And when we do Heaven and Hell, you'll hear that in some of the lyrics, sing me a song, you're a singer, do me no evil.
Right. So
there's some dark imagery in this album.
But I don't want to give the show away, but if you ask me whose era of singers, and Black Sabbath had some,
yeah,
Ronnie James Dio, and it's why one, the man could sing, and two, we went away from Ozzy Osbourne's stupid lyrics to actual poetry being written to music.
No, we won't give away the show. My favorite two lyricists in music, and one of them is controversial that the band is so huge, and I think his lyrics does. I think Nikki Sixx and his lyrics is why Motley Crue is still relevant today. You get more of the Sixx side of it in a band like 6 a.m.
Right. Yeah, it's 6 a.m., not Motley Crue, dude.
Yeah.
Shout at the devil. Yeah, you really went out.
And also Brides of Destruction. When he was in that band, he wrote some great stuff. But Ronnie James Dio is my favorite lyricist.
Well, mine, I'll show you mine. My favorite lyrics are always from Steel Panther. They touch me. They mean a lot to me. They speak to me, and they reflect my value system.
And they touch you in places we're not supposed to talk about in public.
That could happen if you listen to the lyrics.
Yes.
Oh, hey, real quick on that. I was wanting us to go see Steel Panther, but Lexi Fox quit, and I'm out.
I'm out. Me too.
I'm not going to go see that.
I think I'm out on ZZ Top, man, because I wanted to take Anna Lee to see ZZ Top, but I think I'm out. But
yeah, hey, before we wrap it up, just let everybody know too, we may be old, but we still listen to music, and we went and saw
Seven Dust,
and they were excellent.
It was excellent. It was a different show.
Yes.
I wish I had listened to the album you sent me.
Right. So
there was a lot of
good
music.
You need to listen to the new stuff because they're playing the new sets pretty hard. Not saying it sucks, but do your homework before you go because you're going to hear new stuff. And I've listened to the new album. Their new album is awesome. It's some of the best work in 10 years.
Seven Dust is almost like a band to me that just, it's hard to have a bad Seven Dust album. I mean, they're just so talented.
They're so consistent too. So do yourself a favor. They're touring right now. They're hitting a lot of small towns. Go see them.
Do you know the best part of going to the show was? We were at a live show.
Oh, finally.
Finally.
David.
So, well, Mark, and plus we were going to tell everybody we're going to try to make this a weekly deal, but we're not going to be live each week. We may even try it next time. We're going to try to record one show live and record a show, so we have a show out every week, but you may not see us. I am tempted to try to take a few phone calls down the way, but we'll see. Mark, what do you got?
So wait a minute, man. I'm over here. If you haven't seen Phone Calls, please go watch Kiffen's Crimson Corner on YouTube.
Yeah,
And
I
we
love
may have
that.
to do a delay.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's what every time I think of a call-in show, I think of that skit.
And he's talking about his wife. Oh my God.
So yeah, please call in, and we're pretty quick on our feet, and hopefully you'll ask me questions too.
But we may have to do twice the homework then if we want to stay recording every 2 weeks.
Right.
And do 2 albums at a time. So we won't do this time, but maybe next time we'll try to do, and it wouldn't be bad for us, just talking it through, is to do the same band 2 different albums, like even, like you could have done Trey Hombres next, or do 2 different type of music. We'll talk about it. We'll get it together.
Let's do some disco.
Hey, I was driving around the other night and More Than a Woman came on the radio as a country cover. And I was just like,
No way.
Yeah.
Who?
I don't
Why?
know. I didn't stick around. I was gone.
Why?
I was going out on that. More Than a Woman as a country cover. I was just like, hey, man, certain things I can't take. So,
This is when I hear this kind of stuff is why I start hating humanity. That should not happen.
So
it's horrible.
For the Trailer Park Boys, for Morgantown Mark, Frog Level Randy, we'll see you in 2 weeks with Black Sabbath.
Heaven and Hell.
Black Sabbath members.
Heaven and Hell.
Ex-Black Sabbath members, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and
New guy.
and Ronnie James Dio. Until then, go listen to ZZ Top. Rest in peace,
Please.
Dusty Hill.
Rest in peace.